Okay, welcome. G'day, Lynn. How's it going? um, yeah, my spell check is now auto me in original thought, which is wonderful. I love it. um, G'day, everyone. You're listening to the Forbidden History Chronicles here with NinjaCat 111 and Desert Owl from the Forbidden History series. Thank you for the sound check, Lynn. Um, Okay, I would like to welcome any new listeners. You're about to hear it here first. And we'll get into the introduction, then we'll introduce Desert. Okay, just get some light. Okay, the signs of the times. In essence, Desert discusses the history of the world and how the unseen hand has been running it from the very beginning of time. Who they are and how they have founded all of the first great civilizations that are found all around the world, about who the giants really were, and the ancient Aryan caste and slave systems, the priesthoods, the anti-gravity V-manners, which are the Earth-based, misnomered UFOs, they're man-made, the control of all forms of communications, commerce, religion, mass media, pseudo-politics, etc., it is the grand deception that is used to control all of mankind and all instituted through the three main religions of the world in particular, used as their grand cover. Their cybercode has been revealed to him because he has become adept within the study of the ancient alphabets, communications, symbolism, religion, custom, law, cosmology, and mythology, not to mention the fallacy of today's political science and pseudoscience in particular. He can also define the true nature of their warfare, their shell game of bringing one civilization up for their temporary use and then taking it down for the next 500-year generational cycle, as symbolized by the classical phoenix. Desert discusses the ultimate in mind control and ancient art and the financial control, the secret societies and their blood occult rituals and how they wage all wars throughout all time, through the nations that they have created, which are all imaginations, plantations, and mere corporations. They have taken blood oaths to surrender their self-will and mind to their blind goddess, who has demanded our blood from the very beginning of time. They communicate to their minions through the movies, TV, and print media, while he can see, read, and interpret most all of it. It all says that they are using us for our ingenuity, for our collective constructive labour, for experimentation, and in the end, they intend to kill us all. They have given us full notice of what they are doing and what they fully intend to do, while all of the general population, the sheeple, they merely go there to be entertained. The New World Order is the Old World Order from the beginning of time. There is a major cosmic natural disaster that is about to happen on Earth, and they know it, but they are cleverly leaving us in the dark, hence the reason that they have built hundreds of underground bases all around the world, while they are leaving all of the people to remain unprepared, uninformed, and above ground, so that when it comes the mere 5% who will survive above ground will die from the weaknesses and disease that has been generated from all of the poisons that they have been feeding us, from the chemtrails to fluoride in the water, to tainted vaccines, to fake food, etc., etc. They have enslaved us all by the clever means of deception, because we, most all, are their cattle, chattel, property, because they merely wanted to harness our labour, what they always needed, which is what backs most of the world's currency through the birth certificate, but they are all through with us now. It is written in stone, as it can be seen written in the Georgia Guidestones. To know the truth is to be empowered and to be prepared. We may not be able to stop what has been done and what is about to happen, but the innocent and decent people on planet Earth deserve to know. And that was written by Dezert-Owl, who you can find on our other channels. His original channel, the Forbidden History series, and currently broadcasting from Forbidden History Live. All links are in the description. We also have another couple of new channels. I'm just looking for the graphics. Won't be a moment. I don't know if you've changed. Oh, welcome Desert. How's it going? I don't know if you've changed the name of the Farrar Fenton one yet. I'm just trying to find the graphic. Okay, I'll put the graphic up anyway. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, the link's in the description. Just look for the Farrar Fenton Bible reading, and that's the channel. It's just got a new name. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll fix it up after the live stream. Okay. And we also have the Cosmic Essence. Please subscribe. What happened to? Really? Hang on a minute. Cause I turned you on. Hang on. My cosmic graphic isn't working either. Uh, 1 second. Okay, try saying something now. You're still not working. Oh. Okay. Alright, I'll try again. No, you're still not working. Maybe I'll just try one more thing. Sorry, guys. I haven't touched anything since the last live stream, so it should be working. Being a bit temperamental, just waiting for the settings thing to open. And we are live. It's not even opening now. We might have to oh, hang on. We might have to reboot. Wow. Okay, well, oh no, here we go. Okay, I will try. So I normally have the output just on default, and that works. So okay. Talk now, does it?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Any? Am I on the meter? Is
Yeah,
the
you're on
meter?
the meter. You're on the
I'm on the meter.
Just waiting
Right.
for confirmation.
Testing. I let them know I'm testing.
Okay.
Testing.
Desert's testing. Can
Testing.
we get a sound
All
check?
right.
For
It
Desert?
looks good. Thank you,
Thank
Shelley.
you, and g'day.
All right.
G'day, yo. It seems I have to swap the settings each time. That's bizarre. Okay, and my cosmic channel advert has gone wacky, so I won't be using that during this stream.
All right.
It was blank for some reason. I don't know why. So we'll just put a nice picture up for now. Anyway, take 2. How's it going, Desert?
It's going. The planet is still spinning.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Not according to everyone, but according to me, it is. You want to spin on that? We can talk about that
Yeah, I'd
out
like
the
to
gate.
spin on
You remember? Yeah. Well, remember it comes down to they don't care what the answers are, as long as you're asking the wrong questions. And today, when I was reviewing a little bit of the program from yesterday, it suddenly dawned on me what the right question really is, right? And the right question is this: if the Earth was always flat, then what would be the need to pretend that the Earth was round, right? What would be the point in pretending the Earth was round? Why would they even conceive of that, right?
Yeah. So
Why?
if
Who's pretending and why?
if we reverse that statement, it makes more sense.
Exactly. Right. The question would be, why would they not want us to know the Earth was round, and why would they want us to think it's flat? And it's because it's just an issue to divide and conquer,
Yeah.
and to deny all the great creation of Yahweh.
Yeah.
In other words, I saw a video today
Yeah.
that talked about this the sun, the moon, disappearing, and David Icke, says it was made by aliens, and they came in and they said got a construction project going on and they built the moon. It shows that people can follow that don't comprehend the nature of balance in nature, and how the sun and moon work together in tandem to create life on Earth, and without either one of them, you got nothing. And so the Earth being round, just like the sun is round, just like the other planets, as Carolina Sky astronomer comes on and you go look at his videos, all of the planets in our solar system are round. He even got pictures of the moons going around, the planets, and so it's all in our face. And yet, for some reason, for some bizarre reason, people actually get sucked into thinking that, on it, because they can't process the regular stuff that we talk about, like meaning the scriptures, because they also bought into that mind control program of the words and of there's Sumer in Babylon, okay, telling you they had telescopes. They had telescopes because it would be impossible to know those planets existed. But of course, they also got the information from their father Adam, the Aryan race. He's the one who would have been able to tell them about it without the need of a telescope, because he was there when all things were made, and that's why they've got the 10th planet right there, on their on the with the sun at the middle, and the 6 points of creation made in 6 days. The 6 points, the star with the A and the V combined. A and V, the first 2 letters of the alphabet, not A and B. A and V. That's why begin. We're about to begin when Lynn typed it as a vegan. I said that's actually correct, because the B is a corruption, and so in the beginning then is the vegan. And what is the vegan? It's the vegetation of the earth. It's the planet. Wow. The plant is the planet. It means plant, right? It's the emerald fire.
Yeah.
It's the green. That's the vegan. The beginning.
Yeah.
Is vegan.
Yeah, and that makes so much.
Wait a minute. And the V generation. V. You see the V, because it's the virgin light, the generation of the virgin light. That's the beginning. That's the V-Gen, the V garden.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me. Like, I just saw it now with the vegans of today. They don't eat meat.
Well, that's it. Yeah. They call them vegans. There you go. Thank you. Right.
No worries.
Yeah. Well, why do they call them vegan? You see, it's the original thought. Somebody knew it. That element, as they do in our modern time.
It's been carried through right up until today. Yeah.
A turbine engine is a turbine that somebody put on their head. The mag wheel is the magi. The people that are centered at the center are the magi. The mag, chrome wheels in the 1960s in America. Everybody wanted their mag wheels. The magi at the center, the mag at the center. And so it's just unending. It's all around us, but we're not in tune, to these things. Just like nobody knows what logo means. Yeshua, it says in the beginning, is the logo in the Greek, and nobody can figure out what a logo is. That's funny. We see it in front of us every day.
Yeah,
corporate logos,
everywhere.
right? You can't avoid them.
Yeah.
But when you talk about in the beginning is the logo, nobody can figure that one out. I never heard anyone talk about it except for me. The symbol. The great symbol in the sky that represents Yeshua,
the original
and the
logo.
Yeah, and which is also then the word, the Eshavor, which means the royal center of the eye. The royal Eshavor, in the beginning, correctly, is the Eshavor in the Indo-Germanic. It means the royal center of the eye. That's where we got to look at the royal center, which begins with the communication, because it's telling the story of life. It came down from the beginning, and it unravels the entire mystery that we're involved with. Their whole agenda with Sumeria, the reason they're doing this Anunnaki thing is because they absolutely have to cover the trail back to Adam, and that get led us to know it's an Aryan race, and that's why they call them Semitic. It's a non-word, just like when they talked about the Muslim Front, they called them who were the ones that were supposed to be involved with taking down the Twin Towers. They had a name for them. Um,
I know it, but I can't
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
They had a special name.
The Taliban. The Taliban.
Well,
What's
no, there was
is that?
another name, but the point was that it was a creation of the CIA boys,
Yeah.
and and it actually meant a file. In other words, so you put something in a file in Arabic, and and so the whole thing is evident a created deception, for our minds. So that's their game.
Yeah.
Their game is deception, and
Desert. I'm sorry. I just have to cough, so I'm just going to mute out. So please carry
right.
on.
Go ahead. So the
Yeah.
game is deception, ladies and gentlemen, and they're the masters at it. And okay, you all right? Oh, okay. All right, very good. So anyway, yeah, it's asking the wrong questions, and the evidence. All we have to do is put on our thinking cap and look at all the evidence. Just like being out at the ocean, you can't see beyond 4 nautical miles. It goes over, it doesn't go up, it goes down over the edge. And so the most fundamental, but not to mention the picture. You got the picture of the 70,000 feet on the U-2 spy plane. He takes it up.
Yeah.
Anybody can
One
watch the
sec.
video.
I just got to find it.
Yeah. Yeah. When I started doing the presentation yesterday, by the end of the program, 5 people unsubscribed.
Yeah.
In spite of the fact that I put right there the greatest evidence. Don't people want to know the truth? Can't they handle the truth? That the guy went up in a spy plane. Now it destroyed their paradigm. No, it's got to be flat Earth. Has to be. Has to be. I can't be wrong. You know. Um, it's really pathetic. Maybe those were the double trouble, so that's okay. I'm glad they unsubscribed. I'm not here for points.
Yeah.
Other I
Some
like to
people
make
just don't
points.
want to know though. Like if it doesn't fit with what they.
Well, that's it,
Yeah.
and they can't process. They're under
Yeah.
the mind control.
Yeah.
Just like you know, um, in the mind control program, when the people that are in the deep, Project Monarch, and they're programmed that if somebody says they love them, that really means they hate them. And also if somebody tried to deprogram them, then they have a suicide program to kill themselves. So people under mind control on
Oh,
all different levels.
Desert.
All different.
I should have organized this before the program. You know how I sent you that picture of uh the gyro thingy out the front of the Federal Police building here in Canberra. Um, the logo,
Yeah, I
the
remember
big
you
symbol.
shared that.
I
Uh-huh.
sent you that. And I haven't got it in the. I haven't put it in the OBS. Yeah, it's for listeners. It's out the front of the Australian Federal Police headquarters here in Canberra. Um, it's got their logo, like their little shield or whatever it is, inside uh, moving like gyro thing. There's like three rings that are constantly moving, and it's very hypnotizing to watch. I used to ride my bike past it all the time. And when I was looking for an image to send to Desert, I came across. I don't want to get it up on the screen because I'll lose signal if I load up too many things. But I came across something very interesting because I don't listen to the news all the time. I just sort of look at mainstream just to sort of keep track of what they're doing. Um, I missed this one, and they probably didn't broadcast it everywhere anyway. Um, December last year, I saw an article on the headline was "It happened again." Um, Within 6 weeks, two officers committed suicide in that building at work in front of everyone, and there was not much information about it. Uh, One was a man, one was a young lady. And I just thought that was very interesting with what you were just saying. Desert, you just reminded me of that. Um,
Yeah. Right. Well,
yeah,
there are obviously police in the mind control program. Jack McLam, one of the patriot heroes here in America for the freedom movement, was a made man by the mind control program. He was the most decorated. So
yeah,
all those decorations blind everybody's eyes. Oh, Jack, you're our guy. And I took him out to lunch, tried to get on his radio program. And I had United Truckers defending the Constitution. We were giving out police kits to all the police on the road, and we needed some publicity. And then he's the police. He's got the police organization, but no, he's not going to interview me. When I got the largest lobby in America, 7 million truck drivers, you know, and so that tells you then, right, real quick, he's not there to. He's there as a shill, as a cover, and it
yeah,
makes sense. It
yeah,
all fits. And
yeah,
his buddy Bo Grice, so they made a movie about the most decorated Green Beret from the Vietnam era, and you can hear him do his double speak. Both of these are out of the mind control program. They are psyop agents that are also victims of the program, that were used, and so that's how they do it. Anybody, at the top of some big organization. That's why they took me down, because I wasn't one of them. And within a year and a half, United Truckers was done. Infiltrated by MI6 and other local flunkies, and cost me a house on a lake. And so they control all issues and all sides, and so a lot of the people then follow, because they look at these wonderful creations on video, and they can't answer the questions.
yeah.
They it sounds good, right? Because like I say, I almost bought it.
So
I,
did
I
I.
studied it for a
Yeah,
day or two. I looked at everything and I said, wow, okay, wow, yeah, well, no, And I said, wait a minute, Desert, snap out of it.
yeah,
You know how the universe operates. The association between sun, earth, and moon. You know the scriptures. You know what it says in there about
yeah,
creation, and everything came out of the light. And all of a
yeah,
sudden, oh yeah, and what airplanes would be turning off their transponders in the air, to risk getting lost at sea, or
yeah.
what I'm saying? That would be so illogical. And to
Well,
suggest that in order to get to Australia, you got to fly to Los Angeles first, or excuse me, in order to get to New Zealand from Australia, you got to fly to Los Angeles, California, right? Give me a break
yeah. Well, I
to get to
was,
New.
I was an amateur astronomer. I worked in a planetarium, and which are contradictions of each other, actually, astronomy, and then you're inside the planetarium. But yeah, um, yeah, but yeah, astronomy. Like my inspiration to study the universe was to get questions answered, and yeah, I wasn't getting any answers here on Earth, so I started looking, started looking elsewhere, and yeah,
Yeah.
I
You see the
knew
one?
I knew the
Go
Earth
ahead.
was round. I knew that we uh, had a beautiful universe out there because I've seen it through telescopes, and I was nearly fooled by the flat Earth thing. Yes, I got very confused. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
And
so
and the only thing the Christians aren't talking about is what is the most important issue within the scriptures, and it is living a pure life free from sin, which means to be free from having your eyes closed. Sin as an abstract thought, and it literally means to have your eyes closed, or the light being put out. And so they don't talk about the living pure and free from sin, which is the foundation of the entire teaching and message. Open your eyes and see, because once one has put on virtue, that is to cease from living a life of a worldly individual that is engaged in profanity or other antithetical behavior, harming other people, things of that nature. Then until they do that, then their eyes are closed, and so you can't. They're looking with their eyes closed. You see? And they're claiming to see something, but their eyes are closed. They have not woken up to the truth yet about the true nature within the Mashiach, within Yeshua. And that's why it says many seek to enter in, but few will be saved, because they have a form of religion, but it is not based on the sound truth of the star message either, that it is to be a second born, and the second born is become incorrupted and is not a part of the corruption, and put on perfection, and is no longer doing things in a imperfect or corrupt form. But everything we do, we attempt to do with the aura of perfection, just like the violinist playing her violin and makes it perfect, a perfect song without missing a note. We can live our lives without missing a note, and walk, and in the metaphor, walk on water. We're climbing to the top of the mountain in Zion. Okay, and it says in First John that in him is light and no darkness at all. So if we say that we walk in him, but yet we still do things that are of the darkness, then we lie and deceive ourselves. That's what it
Yeah.
says at the beginning of First John. You can't have a little truth and a little lie, because it says that the truth is not a part of any lie. So it's either all truth or it's no truth. You see? And so they have we have to look at all things and put it all on the table, and they want to be experts on flat earth, but they're not experts on their own truth, you know, and they're deceiving themselves. So it's a sad narrative. That's where I got my vision 40 years ago. I climbed to the very top peak of their Mount Whitney, 14,500 feet, and was asking the Father for help. I went up there to get a vision, to get a. I was hoping for a lightning strike or something would happen, because I saw what my family had done to me, and how empty I was, and so I climbed to the top for a vision. And you think I got something when I came down, Ninja?
Um, Maybe not a lightning strike.
Not a lightning strike, but
No.
I but my eyes were opened.
Yeah.
My eyes were open, you see, and so I could see now. I
Yeah.
learned the truth about the phony religion of you're always going to sin. You're always going to you can't do it. You can't get it right. See that, how nonsensical is that? That he came to make a perfect creation, but for some reason he's not able to do that. Just like he's not able to do a round Earth, right? The best he could do is a flat Earth, and the best he could do is make a bunch of screwed up people, but he can't get them to get straight and put on the perfection of light, right? Can't do it, no.
Yeah.
But yet it says Abraham was perfect, Ashayak was perfect, Enoch was perfect, Nova was perfect, right? All these people seem to do it, and they didn't even have what we call the gospel. They didn't
Yeah.
have it. They did it without Yeshua, which is what the fulfillment was supposed to be all about at the end. They did it by conscience. They simply, were living in a primitive world and had a and that was a different world than we have today.
Yeah.
So different,
They
and
had
and
it. They
and the
had pure
respect.
hearts. Pure
Right. Well,
hearts.
the respect and
Yeah.
discipline was greater, and then not only that, but everyone would lived on the knife's edge. They didn't have hospitals. You get injured, you might die.
Yeah.
You
I think
know,
they were
and or
tougher
live a
back then as well.
or live
Like,
a pain of great agony the rest of your life. But here today we put the fix in. So
yeah.
that was another world, and so the whole everything was different. And so
Yeah.
so the people are on the surface. They're just, that's all they, and that's why a flat Earth works for them, because they're only on the surface. When I went out, they're in the safe waters of the bay. Where the ocean goes into an inlet, and then it's the bay. It's the gentle waters, but they never want to go out there in the deep ocean, and go down into the depths, which is where you got to be. That's why I'm out there all alone, swimming in the deep, and there's nobody. There's been nobody there for 40 years until finally you and Lynn and a few, and Shelley and a few others, have come by and said, hey, they like the deep water. Let's swim in it.
I love the deep water.
All right.
Duality. When I lived on the coast, I was the one that always went out the furthest. Mum and Dad would worry because
Uh-uh.
always went out too far on the beach, in the ocean. Loved it. Yeah.
All
So
right.
give me those deep waters, desert.
Okay. So anyway, should we do? Did we do enough damage on that issue? And should we read? Or go do some words? What do you want to do?
Um,
Oh, you had something with Jasher, right? Wasn't that
yes, I
it? You
do.
want to do?
Yes, I
All
do.
right.
I just want to understand it a little bit better. I can see it, but I just want to understand it a little bit better.
Do I need to get
'Cause,
my Jasher, or can I just listen?
um,
I'm just gonna. You're
is
gonna read it to me, and then you're gonna.
yeah, is yours nearby? Is yours
Well, yeah,
nearby?
yeah, yeah.
Well, can you
Go
please
grab
open
it.
up
I'll
to?
grab it. Okay.
Hang on. Can you please open up to chapter 3? Um,
Chapter 3.
Okay, I'll just... Okay, and we'll go to 27, verse 27.
I'm looking for chapter 3. Yeah. Uh, there it is. And 27. Okay. All right, I'm there.
Okay, good. Okay, I'll just read 27 for now, because that's where the question that I have comes from,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go a bit further if we have to.
Right.
Okay, so can I read it normally, and then you translate it, and then can I ask the question? Yeah.
Well, sure. All right.
Okay. Cool. I love this. Sorry. Okay.
I couldn't get her on the program. She wouldn't stop laughing. I go through things at her, and then all of a sudden, I shut my mouth. Let's get going here.
That's how I show my love, I think. Giggles, rather than giggles.
Yeah. Well, we all want to be happy, and it's a tough world when you've been victimized by the
Yeah.
beast systems program, to find a way to laugh, and so it's good for
Laughing
the soul.
it's relief.
Yeah.
It's release.
Right.
It's healing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Control yourself, Ninja. Okay, verse 27. At that time the sons of men were with Enoch, and Enoch was speaking to them, and they lifted up their eyes, and the likeness of a great horse descended from heaven, and the horse paced in the air. Okay, do you want to translate?
Okay. You mean read it in original thought? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And at that time, uh, the seed of the sons of men is a corruption, and they destroyed the original, which would be the seed of the sun. Remember, these are they were also known as sky gods, the sun gods. This is about the Aryan race. So at that time, so when they noticed that they used the word men, which is a prime root for the word moon, and therefore it went from the solar to the lunar. Okay. And the lunar, and so therefore they remove the light. That's what they do. The occult remove the light. So I already know that it's the seed of the sun. So and at that time the seed of the sun were with Enoch, not Enoch, but Enoch. Actually, Cainoch. The ch would be right in front of it, and so Cainoch. And notice it sounds like Cain. And remember, the son of Cain was Cainoch as well. He had a son called Cainoch.
Yeah.
And so it means the return of Cain in a way, because if you have the first child on earth, so to speak, then it's a return of yourself, right? So it's Cainoch, and Och for octave means the 8. 8 is the number of return, and so there's stuff in this mystery, and it's a perfect anagram once you put the KH, not CH, but KH in front of it. Then Cainoch is KHAYNOCH, and if you can spell the anagram backwards, it can be the same word, by readjusting the vowels. So Cainoch was speaking, that would be sparking, and they lived to them, and they lifted up their eyes, and the likeness of the great horse descended from the sun, not from heaven, but the sun, and the horse symbolizes the sun. The horse is the symbol of the sun, and it descended from the sun, and the horse. Obviously, right? Where would heaven be? It's either the cosmos, the sun, or the sky. Those are the typical three supplements the sun is or the heaven is doing business for, and that's a code. Remember, heaven is the even. It is the even, and the even is the evening, and so it means darkness. The sun went down when we know that we're a product of light, and all of our truth is flowing from the light. Everything came from the light, and so you see it's a reversal. See, it's not just flat Earth. It's right here, and it's another version of the other version of the deception. So the great horse descended from the throne of the sun. That's what it should say. You can imagine it coming out of the light. That's where all the power is coming from. That's where everything is coming from. Where? From the sun. and the horse paced in through the air. Okay,
So,
so
um, my question is that is that showing the same story on repeat, like when Yeshua rode on a horse? Um, is that
um,
saying a similar
well,
thing?
no, no, I think
Because
the
that's what I
horse was
thought of
coming
when I
down.
first read it. Yeah,
No, the horse was coming down to pick Enoch up, take him back to the throne of the sun. And in the visions of Enoch, we hear him describing what it was like to be in the throne of the sun, and the tongues of fire and the colors, and then how he could look out and see the stars from the center of the sun. You know, you see, because we look at it from a biological standpoint, that's how we've been groomed. We look at the sun like you know, just like we would look at an amoeba, or or something else in nature, or a tree. It's just a product of nature, but we don't get the picture that it is the house of the great spirit in the metaphor, as we read yesterday in of Psalms 19. It is his temple. It represents his temple. He says, what temple can you make for me, right? When I own all things, when I have made all things. So you're going to build me a house. And the house that he really wanted built was not some stone monument in Yerushalayim Shalom. He wanted our temple to be built. We are his temple. He wanted this one to be perfect, and that's where it goes to us. And then we go back to it. When you become like it, then you can go back to it. But until you transform your action, your behavior, your thinking, and your perceptions, then you are stuck in the lower world of the matrix and may not go back, because you have to put on that light. And light means you can see. When you turn on the light in a room, the darkness goes away and you can see. So it's putting on the light of his truth, and it's by defining his Eshavors, his words, and on, right?
so was the horse a representation of the light coming down?
Well, in that sense, it does. And it's also like I say, it was coming down to pick him up. It's a symbol of
Yeah,
of the light. In other words, we could say that the sun, the ancients, like in Greek mythology, would have been creating in their mythos, that the sun is riding the chariot, and the horse
yeah,
is pulling the
yeah.
chariot through the sky. You
Yeah, well,
know,
it says chariot here a little bit further on here too. Like
all
Enoch
right,
got picked up by a chariot.
yeah,
Yeah, where is it? I can't find it. I didn't mark it, but there's a chariot. There's a chariot in there.
okay,
There. Please
yeah,
continue with what you were saying, and if I find it, I'll let you know.
yeah. Well,
Or are
that
you
well
looking? Oh, hang
that's
on, I found it. Um,
all right.
it's verse 36, and I won't read the whole thing. I'll just read the end of it. Enoch ascended into Enoch. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Enoch ascended into heaven in a whirlwind with horses and chariots of fire.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it would not have been plural. That is
Okay.
chariots of fire, but a chariot
Yeah.
of fire. So he rode a chariot of fire. Okay, and so the
Yeah, and there
chariot of
was only
fire
one
represents,
horse. Yeah, and it says
well,
horses.
well, it could be two horses on a chariot, but it's one chariot. You
Yeah.
can't ride two chariots.
Okay.
Yeah, but two
Yeah.
horses could have been pulling it, but that might also have been a corruption, and it may have just been one horse. But and then he's taken up, says, to heaven, but of course it's the same place that Yeshua was taken up to when he rose from the dead, and he met his buddies in Galilee, and about 100 of them were, they're standing there on the mountain, and then he says, um, I behold, when he's taken up, he says, behold, I am with you even unto the ends of the earth, or to the end of time. And so it says he's taken up into the clouds, but he's taken up into the clouds, and what's behind the clouds? The sun. And he's being taken up to the throne of the sun. The sun or we could go into okay, go into Revelations, and we'll go into near the back, um, the Revelation. I think it's Revelation chapter 19. Okay, yeah, and 19 verse 17. And I saw, and see, it says here angel. I saw an angel, but of course that's the corruption. That's the Anglo-Saxon. That's what angel stands for. The Aryan race. See that they put
Yeah.
themselves in here, but they were the fallen watchers because the
The
correct word,
angle. Yeah.
right? The correct word would be well, and also angel, and is for one, angel means for creation. You know, gelatin brought together, so it means one creation. But it is the falsehood, the false take over the truth, and so when it says I saw an angel standing in the sun, what Yalganon John was really saying was, and I saw the royal Malachim, not but the royal Malachim standing in the sun, and it may be that he was seated in the throne of the sun and not standing. This is the problem we have with translation. But note that he was standing. He's claiming here standing in the sun. Okay, and that's Yeshua he's referring to. He's the royal Malach. He's our elder brother. He is the great Olavhaim. He is the Arch Malach, which is what Michael means. The archangel is the high Malach. You see, archangels of corruption. High Malach is the original thought. Malach meaning royal messenger. But royal messenger of who? Of Yahweh, the Father, the one who made the universe. And he instituted Yeshua to do his work and to do all things. And Yeshua needs nobody. You know, because people say, oh, we're going to pray that there's 10 angels camped around you. They don't even know what they're talking about. Yeshua says there's nobody beside him. You see, he don't need nobody else. He don't need anybody's help. He maintains the entire universe. Who's going to help him, right? And so we become royal messengers by following the word, and then we can be participants in his in this mission, in his program. But he doesn't need us. He doesn't need anyone. What he's doing, he's making us an offer to become like him. And when we put on being like him, then we become one with him. We are then accepted in, but we have to transform ourselves first, and that's what the false Christianity is not willing to do, to put off the things of the world. You know, they're still embracing the lower realm in one way or another, and therefore they can't be set free, and it's a struggle. Okay, and that's why he gave us the example of 40
Yeah.
years in the wilderness. I have that story. Okay,
Yeah.
it's also me. You
Yeah.
know, it's yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I love this
Yeah.
desert. I love it. Thank
Right.
you.
You're
This
welcome.
is this is amazing.
Mhm.
It's so powerful. Like I've never had so many answers and confirmations. Uh, all my life, it's been one question after another. Like you get an answer, you get multiple questions along with the answers, and it's never ending. And
Mhm.
this last year, so many of those lifelong questions have been answered, and I'm just so grateful. And now the questions I have are,
Or
are,
honed
are,
down,
are
or sharpened.
yeah, they're good questions. They're not a yearning to try and find truth anymore. They're good questions. I just uh, I don't know how to describe it, Desert.
Hmm. Okay.
I'll
Well,
show you. I'll show you how I feel. You'll see the picture in a minute.
all right. Well, you said the word amazing, right? And when you
Yeah.
said that, I immediately was able to transliterate it. Right out the gate. As soon as I hear you say a word, I immediately can read it a different way, and it comes to me instantly now. And so
Wow.
amazing, as we see the prime word in there is may.
Yeah.
You hear it, may sing, and so literally, amazing means the May song. It's the May song. That would be the
I
original
was
thought,
born on the
right?
1st of May. 1st of
Okay,
May.
yeah, but real,
Yeah.
of course, we know in the southern hemisphere it's not the same as our springtime up here. But in the northern
I know.
hemisphere, the springtime is May is the most beautiful month because everything is blossoming, and the May flowers, as they say it. April
Yeah.
showers bring May flowers, and so that represents paradise is May, and so yam backwards May is yam, and that's root, and so it's talking about the root of our creation is symbolized in the springtime of May, and also then Mary. We hear the word Mary is add the royal letter R, and you get Mary out of May, and so the May song. So that's where so we can back engineer an abstract term that into then the more primitive aspect by looking at the root components in there. You see, and the May song ing also means creation. And the I represents the phallus, of course, in that, and so it could be the May song of creation. Amazing is the May song of creation. That's a possibility as well. Remember, there's no there there's there there's practically absolute, in some of the things I'm sharing. I mean, in the primitive root forms, they're basically absolute. But when we're talking about the compound, when it's compounded, because you can interpret one letter, let alone a two-letter combination or three-letter combination in variable ways, then it's more fluid and more elusive, because it can be this saying this, or it can also be saying this. You see, and so we can have the primary, but then there's also the secondary aspects. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's the May song right out the gate. That would be the primary, but we can also say it's implying the May song of creation at the same time, if the ing is legitimate, in the structure. But certainly it is conveying the message when we know what ing symbolizes, right? The ing. Yeah.
Wow.
And ing, by the way, is if we rearrange the letters and we put back the a, then we get out of ing the gan, and there's the word for the garden. So it does imply what the suggestion is about creation with ing. Rearrange the letters, get out the I, put in the A vowel instead, and you get Gan, and there's the prime root of Gan Aisha, or the garden.
The garden. Yeah, that's what I
The
was thinking
garden.
as
Yeah,
soon as you said that. Yeah.
yeah. The royal eye of the garden, the Gan Aisha, or the Ganun, the garden at high
Yeah.
noon. So it's all there. It's all
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. See, that's
Okay.
what I
So
was trying to describe, how I'm feeling. You just did it.
yeah.
How I'm feeling.
Okay.
Uh, it's just non-stop wonder and curiosity, and just
That killed a
wows at
cat.
how, yeah.
You be careful.
Hang on, I'm looking for the graphic. There we go. That's me. That's a better picture. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. It's just non-stop confirmation, and everything always, like, speaking of everything in motion and everything spinning, and the end uh, being the beginning. Everything. That's how you. I don't want to say show. Um, that's how you. I don't, I don't want to say any of the bad words, Desert. Um, that's how you show us that this is real and true. Um, yeah, because over and over again you prove it, with what you just did just then, with the word amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Now I just had a glitch.
you just had a glitch.
Okay. Oh well, you're showing the cat and curious, right? Okay, because
Yeah.
I was going to type something to Lynn, and then all of a sudden the screen disappeared and went to another browser page, and I don't know what I did, but I was just gonna tell. I'll just say it now. Good to go, Lynn. That's a very nice statement of yours, But that's the point. My point of wanting to have a caller generated program. It's not that I don't have anything over anybody. The only difference is that I climbed a mountain one day when I saw
Yeah.
how inferior I was, and the Father touched me. He responded to me, even though the lightning didn't strike when I went up there, and no great pictures in the sky, nothing. I came off the mountain actually feeling a little disappointed, because I wanted a miracle event,
You wanted
and so I
something big. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
so when I came off the mountain, I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't matter. The Father's just going to have to back me when I'm talking about him. He's going to have to back me. That's all I was thinking as a 21-year-old kid, still, coming off, thinking he could go up there and have some miracle happen like Moses on the mountain. But when I came off, that's when my entire paradigm shifted. And so I went on a journey of study ended up with 2,000 books on the shelf, and just dedicated myself to reading and reading and reading, and that was before the computer, still. And so I hit the books, and therefore, so people can take advantage of my journey and my discovery, and because they're never going to have enough time to do it, they're never going to be able to go down the trail I went down of discovery, especially when I was able to be home in that, in my marriage at the time, where my wife sometimes worked as a nurse, and so I could stay home and do homeschooling with the little ones, and therefore I can fast 10, 12, 14 days at a time. For 2 weeks, I would fast while I was reading the books of Enoch and other, ancient writings, and taking notes, and wanting to publish, comparing scriptures. Ended up with 60 different versions of the Bible. 60, okay? I mean, not many people can say that. And I had all variable translations, compared them all. And so the whole idea here is, because we've all been deceived, all of us, I myself, I'm willing to admit that, I don't have a paradigm to protect. I want the truth, like everybody else. And so Yeshua has revealed his truth in a profound way. I can prove it out, half a dozen to a dozen different ways when I make a presentation on anything.
Yeah.
So let the evidence speak for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not the authority. I'm just the messenger, and so I want to
That's what I was
help
trying to
others.
express, but you say it better.
Yeah. So the idea is to help as many people as possible. Right now, at the end of our world, there's no time left. Nobody can possibly unwrap the mystery. It was revealed by Yeshua. He's my tree of knowledge, and he is the revealer. He said there's nothing unknown that cannot be known. There's nothing in secret that cannot be revealed, and it's an absolute truth. All of nature was designed to be read. It's hiding the truth, okay? It is hiding the truth. You can get that little guy off there now, okay?
Okay. I'm just looking for...
Time is running out. Yeah, that's a good picture.
I just thought it was cute.
It's cute. All right. It's a little distracting.
Okay. Okay, it'll disappear in a minute. There's a lag.
And Crystal, welcome to the podcast. Good to have you out there in
Crystal.
Texas.
How's it going?
Northeast Texas. Mm-hmm. All right. Now there's a good shot. We can stay with that.
Okay.
That's nature talking. Nature is having a joke with us, right? Crack open an egg, and what do you find? A second sun, telling us that that the sun is the seed. The sun is the egg of life. It's where all things came out of. It's telling us, speaking, you see? It's speaking, but nobody can get the message. They look at eggs every day and don't realize it's the Great Spirit speaking. By the way, this is how it begins, with the sun. It's a seed.
I just saw something little with that. This is going to sound silly, but is that why the question is out there as a distraction? I'm thinking, which came first, the chicken or the egg? I see that as a tiny piece of this entire mind control thingy.
Yeah. Right. Well, here's the answer. The egg.
Yeah.
It's clear that the egg came first, because the egg is the seed. You have the seed, the germ, right? The germ comes first.
Yeah.
And so what I just saw for the first time in this narrative now that I just spelled out is that what's interesting about the fact that the sun comes out of the egg. Well, not only that, but where does the egg come from? And the species that brings forth the egg as a shell that cracks open are birds. So it means that when you can crack open this egg, you can fly, because the birds are the ones that give us this symbol. You see?
Wow.
It's the bird. And so it's talking about transcendence. Transcendence, right?
There
Birds
you go.
bring forth the egg with the yolk in it.
I'm going to say amazing again. Wow. You never cease to amaze me. You can, wow.
Well, this is why we study symbolism, because it's by being able to interpret the symbols, and then all of a sudden you get the next picture, because the Father is feeding us, and His Son Yeshua is feeding us It's about tuning, right? You get an instrument, a guitar, you got to tune the strings, and if they're out of tune, it's got a bad rhythm. Nobody wants to hear it. But once you get in tune, then all of a sudden you're resonating. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful sound.
Yeah.
So it's an exercise. It's a growth. You know, yeah. Some people may have a gift. They might have a gift from early on. That's especially, those are like, what do they call them, child prodigies, or and some of them that have what looks like a mental defect, but yet they're a genius
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
being able to harness something in the brain that none of us can attempt.
Yeah.
Like counting, mathematics or other things. It's just amazing what nature is telling us. It's speaking. It's shouting. You know, yeah. All right, so we want to get into words. Are we?
Sorry.
Are we good?
Yeah. I'm at a loss for words at the moment, so yes, please.
Then I guess we better. Why don't we take a short break on Ninja, and then we'll
Okay.
get into words, okay? And then the dictionary of all scriptures and myths. How about that?
Okay.
I just want to rest my voice.
Yep. All good. Mine was playing up too. My
I'm a senior
voice.
citizen now. I can do that. Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that.
It don't matter. I was joking. I was saying I'm a senior citizen now, so I can do that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. You don't sound.
I
You
hate. I
don't.
actually hate
You.
I hate the notion of it.
Yeah.
It
You
sound.
don't
It
sound
sounds.
like one, does it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a compliment.
I'm a veteran of domestic wars. How about that one? And I
Okay, that's
need I
better.
need my break. I got post traumatic stress disorder.
Oh. Do you want 4 minutes or 7 minutes? Does it?
5 minutes would be ideal, but we can. I'll let you know. I'll get back on the horn when we're ready. All right. Five
Okay.
minutes.
Oh, well, hang on. We'll go with the. I was just. Yeah. We'll go with the. Sorry. Scrolling. Um. We'll go with the cat and the owl because I can make that go for as however long. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you go while I'm scrolling, and I'll try and think of something to ramble on about while I'm.
Desert is already gone. Thank you very much.
I can't find it. I know it's here somewhere. Sorry, guys. I know this is bad for broadcasting. Oh, here it is. Okay. Please stand by. We'll be back after the break. Love you guys, and enjoy this little video. And yes, I know there's no music yet. Hang on a minute. Okay, welcome back. You're listening to the Forbidden History Chronicles with NinjaCat 111 and Desert-Owl from the Forbidden History series YouTube channel, and currently broadcasting from Forbidden History Live. If you're not subscribed, please do. All links are in the description. And welcome back, Desert.
Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what uh, the question is. So, what is the duality, Crystal? But bottom line is, we're in a duality because we have opposites. We have male, female, in and out, up and down, cold and hot, light and dark. So that's the duality. It is a division. Okay, where when we go back to the light, back to the primordial light of the Father, which is beyond the sun is a logo, it's a symbol, and so there's a greater light that's behind it, and we could see it as the center of the galaxy, right? All the stars of light go around what we call the black hole, but it's not a black hole, it's pure energy that continually charges all the stars, charging everything and creating life from the center. It's so vast. It's it's like the difference of the Earth to the sun, as it would be the sun to the the cosmic center. Okay, that dimensions are so fun, or just like the sun represents the atom, and I mean they're so different in dimension and size. It's mind-boggling. It shows the infinite nature of the one who made all things. But when creation came to be from the primordial Father, then a projection occurs, and it's filled with opposites. It has to be that way in order to have physical creation. Wherever he is, you know, all that we know is he's the greatest power and energy. In Second Esdras out of the Apocrypha says that if you put all the stars of the cosmos together, then his power would still be 10,000 times greater than all the stars of the universe. 10,000 times greater. How do we define that? We're like the amoeba. Compared to us. And comparing us to an amoeba. That's how different. We got trillions of cells in our body. The amoeba is just one cell, and that's sort of like what we are, each one cell. And how can we begin to fathom what something that is so great in this beyond the universe, in the universe and beyond the universe, the power of the one who makes all things, So there's so much to the story. But let's do a few words here. Chavors, the royal center of the eye. The royal center of the eye. In the beginning is the royal center of the eye. So your eye is your center, right? I think we rely upon our eyes more than anything else. Ninja, wouldn't that be a fair statement? Our eyes are the most useful tool that we have, and yet people cannot see, right? They're blinded by the lies, and therefore they cannot see what's in front of them because of programming in the mind. It's amazing. They can be looking at it like go spell, gospel, but they never figure out that it means go spell,
Yeah.
And a joke on them by the occultic, that they can't fathom that when the Revelation says that the beast system deceived the entire world. Then they go get their King James, and go to their Sunday click for 45 minutes to get their fix, to be reassured they're going to heaven, whatever that means to them, and they never wake up to the illusions that are right before them, in front of them. The magic spell that has been mastered from thousands of years ago. It didn't happen yesterday. Or just like when they, another example, again, by not asking the right questions, when we look at these documentaries, and like the ones I watched yesterday about Sumer, and the ancient, Babylonian Akkadian cultures, and they talk about them as being the most sophisticated and unlike any other, but yet, wait a minute, how come they're not mentioning India? Because India was even superior to Sumer, and the history even precedes it, and but nobody would know to ask that, and so what they're using Sumer, the Sumerian culture, as a platform for the Anunnaki, and these aliens came down, and you see, because they don't want us to know who we are, and so they have to create, like you got over the sun, the veil that is shrouding us from the true light, and so it's a tragedy, that we've been so conditioned, and and so offspring, the word offspring, when we talk about having family, we can see original thought in that as my offspring. Offspring is the offspring. And so when you see a branch on a tree, right, the new sprigs come out. And so that's the
Wow.
offspring. Offspring. That's what offspring means. It's tree, family tree, right? That's what we say. We
Yeah.
talk in metaphor, family tree. So there's the offspring, is the original thought for offspring. And then I think we talked about the noggin, right? Being your head also is the naga,
Yeah.
means to shine, and the serpent,
Noggin.
right?
Noggin.
Yeah, you got a noggin. That's the Germanic, right? And so it's your serpent knowledge of the garden, but you don't know you're in the garden, and that's so until you wake up to it. It's all this is the garden. If we talk about a garden in the universe, certainly the Earth is a garden because you can't leave it, and if you do, you're going to die real quick. But there is another garden that's superior, and that's in the light. You know,
Yeah. I
and
just want
so
to, sorry, I just want to acknowledge Yo Shelley's comment. Round eyes, flat eyes. Yeah.
yeah,
Please
yeah.
continue.
That's when you can't see clearly, right? When you got
Yes.
the it's not properly rounded, and that's when you need glasses
Yeah.
because they're
Okay.
flat. Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't focus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. I think that's called the stigmatization. I'm not sure. I just wasn't sure about that. And so okay. Another word is the word other, and the word other. I guess I should type this one, and other. Let me see here. OT. Oh, jeez, it did it again to me. I can't get over it.
Oh, really?
If I don't have my thing right, in the chat box ready to go, the I-beam, then I press the buttons, and all of a sudden the screen changes. It's like, oh, I didn't count on that. So I gotta remember to do this. Okay, so here we go. I got it fixed. Okay,
Okay.
Other is then we can see it as another Another, which means also then one Other, but then the original thought would be the O apostrophe Thor, which means then the let me back that up. O-N-E, true, True, other, Other. Okay? So other, when we talk about other, another, other is another, and it means one. A-N then is a prime root for one, also means one. One other, another is one other, but then the aspect of the one is the O, as in the word other. Okay, now go back to, let me type it again, other, Ther, then the O apostrophe Thor. Okay, so you see, other is O Thor. Okay, there's the primitive O Thor, and Thor means hammer, right? And so other means the true power, or the true hammer, meaning if it's another, well, typically when manufacturing began, how did it start? Well, one of the prime aspects was steel, right? And so the hammer, the true hammer is original thought for meaning, like, if I said stiff as a board, I'm stiff as a board, I'm not really a board. But so the same with the the the, the true hammer. Another is not a true hammer, but it implies it's another recreation of something else that it's identical to, right? They hammer it out on the steel, on the anvil, right?
Yeah.
Pound it out, and
Yeah.
you got another version of the other version, and
Yeah.
typically we would be talking about swords, right? So it's the true hammer, the true hammer. Just like when we talk about a plane, we say it's a plane. Well, it's not a plane; it's an aircraft. The plane is where it goes. It goes up there in the higher plane. That's the simple original, right? Plane. Oh, okay, it goes up there. I see. Okay, but
Okay,
it's an
so
aircraft, right?
so what about aeroplane? Aeroplane.
Aeroplane. Well,
Aeroplane.
well, well. It's
Yeah.
just a conjunctive word. It's just it's an I'm just telling you, the word plane is a place,
Yeah.
right? It's a
Yeah.
plane, lower plane, higher plane.
Yeah.
And one more on that word other. Then okay, so we'll Uthor. Then also we'll see it in the word author, and it's the true power. Okay, so author is the true power. Okay. Okay. So you see that how
Oh,
other
wow.
like
Yes.
author, and power is the hammer. The hammer represents the power as well. So it could be the true hammer, as well. Remember, the one word represents many
Yeah,
ideas. Okay.
yeah. And
Not
you
to
don't
mention one
see it
symbol.
until you write it
Yeah.
in the chat, does it? That's
Yeah. And
amazing.
naturally, if I'm the author, that's my book. I've got the true
Yeah,
power over it.
yeah,
You don't, right? I'm the
yeah,
author. I have a copyright.
yeah.
So okay.
Mhm.
So there you go. That's that one. And then Elohim. Elohim is let me type that in there. Um, okay, Elohim, which is the corruption. Then go back to original thought. Lovehaym, which then means the Enlyghtgened, one of the many who SCES. Okay, so Elohim is a corruption, and El came out of the Babylonian Talmud. It's correctly Ul, but they didn't want us to get the picture of sun and moon and the earth creation as the El, the symbol of the phallus. And so Ul, love, Haim. There's where the word love comes from, and Ulaf Haim out of Elohim, and the Haim. H is the breath, the AY is the I, and you put it together, Haim, and it means the breath of the many. You see, it's duplication. Elohim is plural. It's all. It means the enlightened ones, and so in the sense of enlightened ones, it means the stars up above, and it means those of us who can be enlightened. We can become illuminated. That is to say, Elohim, Ulafhaim, and when we're enlightened, we also put on the divine love, because divine enlightenment means you don't go around hurting other people, and you have compassion and love for all things as well. And so, literal in the literal sense of Ulafhaim, it means the enlightened one of the many who sees. Okay, so once you see, that's your carrot eye, not charity, but the carrot eye, right? Now let's spell that one out. CHARITY. Hopefully that's correct spelling. And carrot, CARROT hyphenated EYE, which of course then is I is really AY. Okay, so charity is the carrot eye. It means you're focused, right? A carrot is like a telescope, right? It's a projection going bigger, 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 bigger as it goes out, like the letter A, right? So it's a
Wow.
carrot eye, meaning you are focused. You have an eye to see something, and because you can see it, you can have compassion on it. That's
Yeah.
the essence of charity, right? The carrot
Wow.
eye.
And that's also why they say, I don't know if it's true, but why they say carrots improve your eyesight if you eat them.
Well, it's a divine love. The divine love made the carrot that way to tell us
Yeah.
a story and to improve our eyes at the same time, right? It tells a story about our eyes, and it's nourishment for the eye, right? In both ways, then metaphorically and literally, right?
Wow. That's so cool.
hmm
Yeah.
It's the divine wisdom. It's just like the cauliflower is that's the white head. The white head is a cauliflower, and you split it
Yep.
open. It looks like the brain, right? And
Yep.
that's the brain food. It's brain food, just like the walnut. Crack open the hard shell of a walnut. It's like your skull. When you look inside, it looks like two halves of the brain. So that's brain food. And not only that, but walnut oil gets parasites out of the brain. You see, and so there's a pattern and a harmony. It's a wisdom. It's
Yeah.
it's the
Wow.
beauty of nature.
Yeah.
Nature speaking. It's
Yeah.
got that algorithm I've been talking about.
Yeah.
So all right, so there's a few words. I think I've done enough for today on the words, and I can never get them off my desk. I keep getting new ones that I keep throwing down, and I gotta, yeah, the 3x5 cards never stop coming. Okay, but let's do a little read out of the book of the Dictionary of All Scriptures and Myths,
Okay.
and we've got I'm in the L, the alphabet L now. Move forward, and Lemon Canaan is a very strange word. I don't know where it comes from, but it says it's a symbol of the higher self who descends into matter and becomes the archetypal man who dies in order that the individual soul may have immortal life. So that's the whole aspect, right? The firstborn have to die and become the secondborn, and so that's the archetypal man. And we're an image of the Great One. We're made in the image in the primordial, that is by spirit, by our nature, our ability to put on the light and to transcend. But even in the physical form, we're a representation of the cosmos. And so Laminic shut out.
Okay, now it's oh, wait a minute.